You're looking live on the beautiful campus of Eastwood High School for today's 1-6A matchup between the America's Trailblazers and the Eastwood Troopers. I'm Julio Lopez, joined by my partner, Patrick PJ Chavez. Opening tip is won by the Trailblazers. Christian Martinez has the ball. Gets it over to Jose Luis Lugo. Over to Jordan Hernandez. Hernandez drives the lane, spins, dishes it back out to Christian Nevarez. Nevarez over to Lugo. Back to Hernandez. Inside, gets it back out to Christian Martinez. Puts up the shot, too strong. Oh, and a good defensive play by the Trailblazers to get that back. Christian Martinez back up with it and scores. Gives the Trailblazers an early 2-0 lead. Ball being pushed up the floor for the Troopers by George Garcia. Gets it over to Zaid Hernandez. Both programs undefeated in district, led by two of the best coaches in the region, with Mike Brooks leading the America's Trailblazers and Peter Morales leading our Eastwood Troopers. George Garcia has it up top, gets over to Ryan Martinez, gets a screen set by Ivan Loya, over to Isaac Mora, back to Zaid in the corner. Zaid being guarded by number 5, Jose Luis Lugo, drives the lane. Back out to Mora, to Loya. George drives the lane, good ball movement, Zaid for three. Offensive, thought we had the offensive rebound there. Finally gets pulled down by number 32, Christian Martinez for Americas. Lugo drives it up the floor. I'm sorry, that's Hernandez up the floor. Drives the lane, dishes out. Back to the top of the key. Now over to Lugo, being guarded by Zaid. And that's going to be a reach-in foul. That'll be Eastwood's first team foul. Zaid's first foul. Americas will inbound. Hernandez on the inbound. Gets it up to Christian Martinez for the lob play. Doesn't work. Rebound pulled down by number 20, Ivan Loya. George is pushing it up the floor, being guarded by number 12, Christian Nevarez. George over to Mora. Isaac Mora gets it to Martinez. Ryan looking for options inside, over to Zaid. Zaid kicks it out. George for three. Got a good look there, just didn't get it to go down. Still 2-0 here, 5 minutes, 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Lugo drives the lane. Great defense by Zaid, and that's going to be off Lugo, and that'll be the Troopers' ball. First sub of the game coming in. Alec Garcia will check in now. He's going to check in for number 10, Isaac Mora. Alec will inbound. A little bit of pressure being put on by Americas. Full court man-to-man defense. George Garcia will push it up the floor. Gets it to Zaid. Zaid over to Alec. Errant pass. Gets pulled down by number 5, Jose Luis Lugo. Drives to the lane, and he's going to get an easy bucket. So that's going to be a turnover that leads to points for the Trailblazers. 4-0. 5 minutes, 8 seconds left here in the first quarter. Again, a big 1-6A matchup between two of the best programs in the city. Ball gets up top to Alec. Alec to Martinez. Martinez on the wing. Gets a screen by Alec. Back to Alec. Over to Zaid. Finds George in the corner. George looking for options inside. Trying to get it inside to Loya. Pulls it back out. Zaid at the top of the key. America's in a little bit of a zone here. Alec with a good post-up move, just doesn't get the bucket to roll. Rebound pulled down by number 12, Christian Nevarez. Ball gets up to Christian Martinez. Doesn't get it to roll. Fights for the rebound, gets it, saves it. Back out to Lugo, and that's going to be a foul on the Troopers. Foul's going to be called on number 5, George Garcia. That's a second team foul. First foul on George. Jordan Hernandez, the inbound for the Trailblazers. Ball being swung around now. Back to Hernandez. Hernandez being guarded tightly by Ryan Martinez. Over to Christian Martinez for Americas. To Christian Nevarez, top of the key for three, doesn't get it. Rebound pulled down by Ryan Martinez, being pushed up the floor by George. George Garcia being guarded by Hernandez right now. Troopers slow it down here. Fast-paced game for sure, PJ. You haven't had a chance to chime in at all.
Fast-paced game early on, Coach. Both teams really trying to set up their offense and get points. Troopers just not being able to land baskets right now. They are doing very well in setting up their offense so far, though.
Yeah, I agree. They've gotten a lot of good shots, good looks. Just haven't been able to get them to pull down, to come down. And that's going to be a timeout by the Troopers. So early on here, 3 minutes, 37 seconds left in the first quarter. The America's Trailblazers 4. The Eastwood Troopers 0. Overall records for both teams. America's overall is 8-0. Our Troopers are 3-2. Both teams undefeated in district. America's is 4-0 in district, while our Troopers are 2-0 in district. So again, a big 1-6A matchup between two great programs, two programs with proven success, and both looking to come out of here with a big win on this beautiful Saturday morning in El Paso. PJ, early thoughts?
Early thoughts. Troopers trying to set up their offense, swing it out a little. Everyone has really touched the ball. They try to find the look down low with their big man, or you could go outside and give it to one of your three-point shooters. America's, on the other hand, doing the complete opposite and trying to push the pace and go fast straight to the basket.
Ball being handled by George Garcia. Over to Zaid. Zaid with the open three and gets it to drop. That's a big one for the Troopers to get on the board. 3 minutes, 24 seconds left. Trailblazers 4, Eastwood 3. Ball being pulled up the floor by Hernandez. Hernandez gets a screen by Martinez. Ball gets swung around now to Lugo. Lugo gets it back out. Oh, ball's on the floor. Great defense by the Troopers. Back out to Lugo. Now over to Hernandez. Hernandez being guarded by Garcia. Hernandez over to Nevades, over to Martinez, inside now, tries to post up. Great defense, great help defense by the Troopers. Ball's up, bounces around, and that's a great offensive rebound by Lugo to put that back in. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left. Trailblazers 6, Eastwood 3. Again, full court man-to-man pressure here by the Trailblazers. George Garcia pulling it up the floor. Up the right wing. Looks like America's in a little bit of a zone here. Oh. And that's going to be a foul on Isaac Mora. I guess a moving screen, PJ?
Moving screen, I believe, is the foul they called.
So that's going to be the third team foul on the Troopers. Still none for the Trailblazers. Number 32, Christian Martinez inbound for the Trailblazers. Jordan Hernandez waits for it. Hernandez is going to pull it up the floor, being guarded by George Garcia for Eastwood. Nevades in the corner, gets it over to Martinez, swings it back around, shot up, too strong. Rebound by Ryan Martinez for the Troopers. Ryan gets it to George. George pushes the tempo, pushes it up the floor. Eastwood now settling, getting a play called. Gets it over to Zaid in the corner. Zaid drives the lane, back out to Garcia. George up with the floater. Oh, in and out, doesn't get it to go. And that's going to be a loose ball foul on George Garcia, and that's going to be his second personal. That's going to be Eastwood's fourth team foul. So a quick 2 fouls on George, PJ, and that might mean he's going to have to.
Gotta think about.
Going to have to pull him out for at least a little bit. It looks like Coach Morales is going to leave him in.
I think Coach Morales right here is going to let him get to 3 and possibly pull him.
Number 11, Ian Wedeka in the game for the Troopers. On the floor for the Troopers, you have Garcia, Wedeka, Hernandez, Mora, and Martinez. Hernandez gets the ball from Lugo. Drives the lane. Great defense by George. Again, playing with 2 fouls. That's great. A great job contesting the shot at the rim. Gets it over to Zaid in the corner for 3. Off the mark. Ball saved by America. That's a good play by Lugo to keep that one alive. Over to number 22, Jonathan Castañeda. Over to Martinez. Martinez back out to Hernandez. Hernandez out to Nevades on the wing. Nevades being guarded by Zaid Hernandez. Is that an offensive foul? Yep, that's going to be an offensive foul called on number 12, Christian Nevades. Really good defense being played by both sides of the ball. And now George Garcia comes out, PJ. I was a little worried on that shot, on that layup.
A little worried if he was going to get a foul on the way up.
Number 12, De La Cruz in for the Troopers. Zaid is going to pull the ball up the floor, being pressured by Americas. Ball knocked away by number 40, Damian Vicente. And it'll be the Eastwood Troopers ball on the left side here. Ball to be inbound from the side. Number 10, Isaac Mora will inbound. Mora over to number 12, De La Cruz. De La Cruz to Martinez. Martinez being guarded by Lugo there. Mora back out to De La Cruz on the wing. De La Cruz to Martinez. Martinez to Mora. Coach Morales imploring his team to be patient here, really working the possession. 31 seconds left in the quarter. Martinez back out to Zaid, and it looks like they might hold for the last shot, PJ. What do you think?
A little bit of confusion, it looks like, with the Troopers' offense right now at the top of the key there.
I like it. They milked the whole minute off. They're going to hold for the last shot. A chance to either cut it to 1 or possibly tie it with a 3. 10 seconds left. Now the play is called. Martinez has it. 6, 5, 4. Splits the defense. Oh, no, it's a turnover. 2, 1. Shot goes up from half court. And too strong. So the end of the first quarter in a real defensive struggle here. Defensive battle. The America's Trailblazers 6. The Eastwood Troopers 3. 4 team fouls for the Troopers. 1 on the America's Trailblazers. Both teams go to respective benches. So I guess a quick first quarter, PJ. What are your thoughts here as we head into the second quarter?
A very quick first quarter. Both teams really just playing each other out here, trying to get a sense of what each other are trying to do. America is really trying to get it inside to their big man and get up those layups, while Eastwood is really spreading it out and looking for that open shot where they could get points off of. And Eastwood had great looks early. They put up great shots, but they just weren't able to get stuff to land for them early.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think this game is going to be a low-scoring game. I would expect the winner to probably be in the low 30s, I would imagine. Both teams really defensive-minded. Coach Brooks and Coach Morales really preaching defense. I agree with you. I think that the Troopers have gotten the looks they wanted. They just haven't gotten the shots to fall. So that'll be something to look for. Hopefully they heat up here and get some momentum going into halftime.
Definitely a defensive showdown about to go down here in the second, just both teams have felt each other now on what they're going to try to do here in the second.
Definitely on the floor for the Troopers. De La Cruz, number 11, Huereca, Martinez, Mora, and Zaid Hernandez. George Garcia still on the bench here with foul trouble. He got 2 early ones, and it looks like he's going to start the second quarter here on the bench. Mora inbounds to Martinez. Martinez being guarded by Lugo. Over to Zaid. Good movement by the Troopers. Zaid gets trapped at midcourt, throws it up, and that's going to be an early turnover. And again, defensive pressure causing that turnover. And George Garcia, Eastwood's primary ball handler, is going to come back into the game for De La Cruz. Again, George has to be careful. He has 2 fouls. Can't get a cheap third one here. Zaid is going to go to the bench. Number 20, Ivan Loya, is going to check into the game. Hernandez pulls it up the floor for the Trailblazers. Being guarded by Martinez. Pushes it over to the left wing to Nevarez. Nevarez over back to Hernandez. Hernandez to Nevarez. Being guarded by Mora. Inside to Martinez. Martinez kicks it out to Lugo. Lugo being guarded by George Garcia. Mora now on Nevarez. Good defense by the Troopers. Martinez tries to drive it in. Kicks it back out to Lugo. Lugo finds Hernandez. Thinks about the 3. Pulls it down. Good defense by Martinez. Over to Nevarez, and that's going to be a walk. Great defensive possession by the Troopers. And a quick 2 turnovers, PJ, to start the second quarter on both teams.
Exactly how you want to start the quarter. Force Americas to turn over the ball. You get the ball back. Set up your offense. Now you have your offense, really your first team back out there full in strength.
Yeah, I definitely agree. George Garcia pulling up the floor for the Troopers. Nevarez on Huereca. Huereca over to Loya. Back out to Mora. Martinez swings it around to George. Garcia looking for options here. Gets a screen by Mora. Puts up the 3. Doesn't get it to fall. Defensive rebound by Christian Nevarez. Number 12, Nevarez gets it over to Hernandez. The Trailblazers point guard pulling it up the floor. Being guarded by Martinez from Eastwood. Good defense by the Troopers again. Screen set. Hernandez open three and nails it. So 6:27 left in the second quarter before halftime. The America's Trailblazers 9, Eastwood Troopers 3, in a real defensive struggle here. George Garcia handling the ball for the Troopers. Gets past Hernandez. Martinez now with the ball. Garcia swings it around. Wedeka is going to draw the foul. That's a great job by the Troopers getting past the pressure. Or was that... Yeah, that's going to be on Christian Martinez for the America's Trailblazers. Eastwood will inbound on the side. Number 22, Jonathan Castañeda will check in. Zaid Hernandez is going to go back in. He'll take Wedeka out. Mora to inbound. Nope, that's going to be Martinez to inbound for the Troopers. Ryan Martinez finds Garcia. Garcia gets a screen set by Mora. Gets out of the pressure. Mora back up top. Gets Zaid in the corner. Zaid drives the lane. Dishes it back out. Good action by the Troopers. Gets it back out. Zaid for three. Doesn't get it to go. And that's what they call it, PJ. Is that just out on Eastwood?
I believe it's out on Ryan Martinez. I believe his foot went out while he was fighting for the rebound.
Americas brings it up the floor. Jordan Hernandez being guarded by Ryan Martinez for Eastwood. Swings it over to Christian Martinez. Over to number 22, Castañeda. Castañeda tries to find Nevarez, doesn't get him. Hernandez gets a loose ball, puts up the foul, or puts up the shot, and he's going to be fouled. And that's going to be called on number 10, Isaac Mora. It's going to be 2 shots for the Trailblazers. Number 1, Jordan Hernandez at the free throw line. 5 team fouls on the Troopers, 2 team fouls on the Trailblazers. First shot going up. And is no good. Subs going into the game. Number 3, Alec Garcia checking in for number 10, Isaac Mora. Number 5, Lugo coming out for the Trailblazers. Second shot going up for Hernandez. Shot is up and good. So with 5:33 left in the second quarter, the America's Trailblazers 10, Eastwood Troopers 3. Early 7-point deficit for the Troopers. George Garcia handles the ball. Pressure being applied. They're looking for the trap again, PJ. Looks like a lot of pressure at midcourt.
America's running that 2-man trap high up on the court. And Eastwood right now is trying to break it with the swing around offense right now, but it is just not working for them.
Again, I just think they got to hit the shots. They're getting the looks they want. They just got to make the shots when they get the chance. Ryan Martinez swings it back to Alec. Alec gets it back to George. George takes the 3. No good. And that's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Trailblazers. Christian Martinez is going to inbound for the Trailblazers. Jordan Hernandez waits for it. Interesting thing to note here, PJ, and again, I noticed it when our girls, I think, were playing Pebble Hills, but all the America's Trailblazers have their masks on, but not on. So they're underneath their chin. I don't really understand the reasoning on having the mask on, I guess, but not wearing it if you're going to wear it while you're playing. Number 1, Hernandez kicks it inside. That's Christian Martinez. Ooh. He's going to draw the foul on Alec Garcia and get the bucket. And with 4 minutes, 43 seconds left, the Trailblazers 12 and the Eastwood Troopers 3. Shot is up and good, and that's a 3-point play for Christian Martinez. Number 5, Lugo checking in for Martinez. Alec Garcia to inbound, gets it over to George Garcia. George pushing it up the floor, being guarded by number 10, Seth Saravia. Gets it over to Ryan Martinez. And that's going to be a travel. Another turnover for the Troopers. Number 11, Ian Wedeka, now checking in the game for Ryan Martinez. Just looks like the pressure's kind of getting to us right now, PJ.
The pressure is definitely getting to the Troopers right now. Their offense has really not been able to do anything early on here with that America's 2-man trap that they run.
Shot goes up. Offensive rebound by Hernandez. Shot doesn't go. It looks like it's going to stay America's ball. Christian Nevares checks in for Castañeda. Hernandez will inbound underneath the basket. Ball gets swung to Lugo. Lugo to Sarabia. Back to Hernandez at the top, being guarded by Wedeka for Eastwood. Sarabia has it, swings it around. Lugo at the top of the key, gets it inside to Hernandez. Looks like he's going to try to post up Wedeka. Gets a spin move, and they're going to call a foul there. Foul is going to be called on number 11, Ian Wedeka. That's going to be Eastwood's 7th team foul. Subs going into the game. It looks like Ryan Martinez and Isaac Mora will be checking in. Jordan Hernandez at the free throw line, shooting his first of 2. First shot is up and good. Mora and Martinez check in. And it looks like that's Wedeka and Loya coming out. Second shot on the way. Ball is up and good. And it looks like we're going to have another sub, number 14 for Americas, Jair Gonzalez. Again, America setting up some full court pressure. 3 minutes, 51 seconds left here before halftime. America's Trailblazers 15, Eastwood Troopers 3. Zaid pulls it up the floor, gets over to George Garcia. George being guarded by Sarabia. Christian Nevada's on Zaid now. Zaid gets it over to Ryan Martinez. Ryan looking for options, gets a screen set by Mora, looks for options again, pressure getting to him a little bit. Zaid almost steps out, but he gets it over to George Garcia. Eastwood setting up their offense. George calling the play, gets a screen set by Mora, doesn't use it. Kicks it over to Ryan Martinez. Too strong on the 3. Defensive rebound to Christian Martinez. Gonzalez gets it, pushes it up to Nevares, over to Martinez, back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez over to the wing. Nevares gets it, over to Lugo. Finds Sarabia at the top of the key, over to Nevares. Nevares being guarded by George Garcia, puts up the 3 and gets it. And that's going to be a timeout used by the Troopers. 2 minutes, 57 seconds left here before halftime. The America's Trailblazers 18 and Eastwood 3. Honestly, PJ, I think it's been a great game between both squads. I just think the difference right now is that shots are going down for the Trailblazers and some of ours are just not finding the net.
Troopers having a tough time trying to find the net. Well, not really find the net. It's just making the shot. They're putting up great shots, great looks on offense. It's just not falling here early for them. Well, for Americas, they're getting the great look. Eastwood is playing great defense, press man defense, and the ball's just landing for Americas early on.
Yeah, I think if you're the Troopers, you gotta be happy with the defensive effort. I don't think 18 points is anything that is going to be looked at as a bad defensive effort. I just think you got to generate some offense in a big game like this. You got to be able to hit the contested shots. You got to be able to handle the pressure, and we got to generate some momentum going into halftime right now. George Garcia gets it up the floor for the Troopers, over to Alec. Alec to Ryan. Swings it around. Offense being ran now, and that's going to be a foul. Yep. Number 5, Jose Luis Lugo on the foul for the Trailblazers. 2 minutes, 42 seconds left. 7 team fouls on the Troopers, 3 team fouls on the Trailblazers. Wedeka checks in for Alec. Ball to Isaac. George gets it back. There's another half-court trap. George trying to get around it. Great pass inside. Another pass to Zaid, and Zaid goes up strong for the layup. That's a great offensive possession for the Troopers when they needed it. 18-7, 2 minutes, 38 seconds left here. And now some pressure being applied. Oh, Ian jumps the pass, almost gets it. Ball gets kicked forward. Shot is missed. Good rebound. Ball on the floor. That's going to be a loose ball, and over to the Troopers. We have a score correction. It's 18-5. 13-point deficit for the Troopers. George Garcia gets the loose ball on the ground, gets the jump ball called, and the possession arrow gets over to Eastwood. Garcia up the floor, being guarded by Hernandez. Good defense by Hernandez. Garcia beats the full court pressure over to Martinez, gets trapped. Martinez over to Mora. Wedeka gets it now at the top of the key. Wadeka over to Zaid. Zaid drives the lane, looks for the shot, doesn't like it, gets it over back to Garcia. Garcia now setting up the offense. 2 minutes left here before halftime. Mora there setting a screen. Garcia uses it, swings it back around to the right side. Ball gets knocked away by Nevarez, and that'll be Eastwood's ball here on the right wing. Number 22, Jonathan Castaneda checks into the game for number 5, Jose Luis Lugo. Lugo will have a seat now. Garcia inbounds to Mora. Mora back to Garcia. Garcia setting up the offense, works over to the left side. Gets it to Ian for 3. Shot does not go. Rebound to looks like Christian Martinez. He's going to push it up the floor. Nevarez has it, drives the lane, puts up the shot. Too strong. Rebound to George Garcia for Eastwood. Garcia pushes it now. Gets it over to Zaid. Zaid drives the lane, puts it up. Gets contact, doesn't get the foul called. Definitely thought we should have gotten a foul call there. Don't get it. Hernandez now gets the ball for Americas. 1 minute, 14 seconds left here before halftime. Hernandez pushes it up the floor. Being guarded by Martinez. Over to Sarabia. Back to Hernandez on the left wing. And that's going to be a reach in by Ryan Martinez. America's now in the 1-and-1. Hernandez will go to the free throw line, shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. That's Eastwood's 8th team foul. Americas has 3 team fouls right now. 18-5, 1 minute, 1 second left here before halftime. Hernandez with the front end of a 1-and-1. Shot is up and good. 1 minute, 1 second left here. America's 19, Eastwood 5. Hernandez back to the stripe. Free throw is up and good as well. Pushes the lead to 15 now. Mora inbounds to Garcia. Garcia pushes it up the floor. Being guarded by number 10, Seth Sarabia. George gets it to Zaid, over to Ryan. Ryan moving it around now, getting trapped, gets it over to Garcia. Garcia in the corner. George looking for options. Yep, that's going to be a block. And that's going to be a block called on number 10, Seth Sarabia. 4th team foul for the Trailblazers. Again, 8 team fouls for the Troopers. America's leading 20-5, 39.2 seconds left here before halftime. Looks like we got another sub. Christian Nevarez is now going into the game for Americas, and Loya going into the game now for Wadeka for the Troopers. Ryan inbound on the wing here. Looking for options. Finds George at the top, at the mid-court stripe. George tries to go cross-court. Does not find Ryan Martinez, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. So Americas will take over, leading 20-5, 31.9 seconds left. I got to imagine here, PJ, they're probably going to hold for the last shot.
Probably going to hold for the last shot here, or kind of just look for an open shot. They really don't have to shoot right now. You have a 15-point lead.
30 seconds left. Hernandez walks the ball up the floor. Number 22, Jonathan Castaneda has it over to Hernandez. Hernandez over to Lugo. 17 seconds left. Back to Hernandez, and this is where they're going to hold for the last shot, PJ. Hernandez being guarded by Martinez. Martinez, good defense. Hernandez over to Lugo. 8 seconds left. Back to Hernandez. Hernandez drives, puts up the jumper, and is fouled. Who got the call there? Ryan Martinez on the foul. And Jordan Hernandez will go to the stripe with a chance to extend the Trailblazer lead here right before half. First shot is up for Hernandez and good. 21-5. America's up. 4.2 seconds left here before halftime. Christian Martinez checks in. Yeah, second shot up. And is good. Morata inbound, gets it to Zaid. Zaid pushes up the floor. 3, 2, 1. Garcia up from half court. hits the front iron. And that's going to be halftime, folks. The end of the second quarter and going into the halftime break. The America's Trailblazers 22 and the Eastwood Troopers 5. PJ, any thoughts before we go to break?
Troopers need to try to find a way to put up points. Their defense is holding very well against the Trailblazers, but they just can't get their shots to land here early and are struggling right now.
Yeah, definitely think they're going to have to start the second half fast. But I think we'll make some adjustments and we'll get it going. So we'll be back after the halftime break. Welcome back, Trooper Nation, as we bring you the second half live from Eastwood High School. The America's Trailblazers 22, our Eastwood Troopers 5. Start of the third quarter here. On the floor for the Troopers, Ryan Martinez, Ian Huereca, Zaid Hernandez, Isaac Mora, and George Garcia. On the floor for the Trailblazers, you have Martinez, Lugo, Hernandez, Nevades, and I do not have, number 40, Damian Vincente for the Trailblazers. And right off the bat, we're going to have a jump ball. Ball's going to go to the Troopers. 7 minutes, 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Again, America's 22, Eastwood 5. George pushes it up the floor, being guarded by Nevades. George drives the lane, looks for ups, and that's going to be a travel. Travel called on George Garcia. Turnover here to start the second half for the Troopers. Martinez underneath the basket. He's going to inbound to Hernandez. Hernandez being guarded by Martinez. Good defense by Martinez. Switch. Martinez on Lugo. Lugo gets it across to Christian Martinez. Shot goes up, no good. And that's going to be Eastwood ball. Knocked out by number 5, Lugo. Looks like there's going to be some full court pressure here by Americas. Zaid gets the ball, picks up his dribble, looking for options. Gets it over to George on the left wing. George drives the lane. Finds Ian Huereca, open for three. I thought he was going to take that shot, but he doesn't. Gets over to Ryan Martinez. Gets it to the corner. George drives the lane. Easy basket for the Troopers. 6 minutes, 48 seconds left here in the third quarter. America's 22, Eastwood 7. Full court pressure now by the Troopers. And America's breaks it and gets the easy layup. Number 12, Nevada, is on the layup for the Troopers. Zaid to inbound. Gets it over to Ryan. Ryan back to Zaid. Zaid looking for options here. And again, full court pressure by the Trailblazers. Over to Garcia. George gets trapped. Gets it over to Zaid. They break the press. Zaid drives the lane. Goes to the bucket. Does not get it to roll. Hernandez looking for numbers. Coming back up the floor for the Trailblazers. Gets it to Nevades. Nevades inside. Turnover by the Trailblazers. Now we got numbers. Garcia running the floor. Gets it to Martinez. Martinez up for the layup. Reverse layup. Goes to the left hand and gets it a drop. 6 minutes left. The tempo really increasing here. Americas again breaks the press and gets an easy bucket. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left. Americas 26, Eastwood 9.
America's really saying right now, you can't run our defense on us. Right there breaking the full court press twice on easy lanes, 2v1s.
Zaid in the corner for three. Gets it to fall. That's a big bucket for the Troopers. 26-12. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left here. And again, full court pressure. Hernandez breaks it. Martinez. And that's going to be a timeout called by Americas. Well, definitely a fast-paced start to the second half, PJ. I do think that it's got to feel good. It's got to feel good to see the ball fall in the bucket for the Troopers.
You got to feel good for the Troopers right now. Their offense really struggled, only scoring 5 points in the second half, and right now they've put up 7 in the first 5 minutes of the second half. So, at halftime they made some adjustment there, but they got to figure out a way how to full court pressure on Americas and still watch both of them. As we saw, they just broke the full court pressure, went 2v1, down low and easy lanes.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good start for the Troopers. Again, you got to be encouraged to see the offense. After only putting up 5 points in 2 quarters of play, they already put up 7 in 2.5 minutes of play here in the third quarter. So hopefully they can keep the momentum going. America's going to inbound from the side. Christian Martinez to inbound. Hernandez waits for it. On the floor for the Troopers, Martinez, Huereca, Garcia, Alec Garcia checks into the game, number 3, and then number 10, Isaac Mora. Hernandez pushes the ball up the floor for the Trailblazers. Being guarded by Ryan, gets it over to Martinez. Martinez over to Jonathan Castaneda. Castaneda to Nevades. Nevades to Hernandez here on the wing. being guarded by Martinez. Looking inside for options, pulls it back out, now towards the mid-court stripe. What was the call? I didn't see the call there, but it's going to be a turnover. Didn't see the call there, but it's going to be a turnover on the Trailblazers. Mora to inbound now. PJ, I think this is a big possession here. I think they got to get some points. Again, cut into the deficit, keep the momentum going.
Definitely a big possession here. They got to score and score a little fast here. You're down 14 with 4 left in the third. You got to start doing something. Ooh.
Oh, no. I did not see a travel there, but a travel called on the wing. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that call. Nonetheless, it's going to go over to Americas. Jordan Hernandez is going to pull the ball up the floor, being guarded by Martinez. Hernandez gets a screen by Lugo. Kicks it over to Castañeda. Looks like Eastwood in a little bit of a zone here. Back out to Nevarez in the corner. Doesn't get it to go. Great rebound by Martinez and off the foot of George Garcia, and that's going to be turned over right back to the Trailblazers. Zaid is going to check in for Ian. America to inbound here on the wing. Jose Luis Lugo gets it to Hernandez. Hernandez being guarded by Martinez. Lugo open, kicks it over to Nevarez. Nevarez drives the lane, looking for options, puts it up, and that's going to be an easy bucket. Trailblazers up 28-12 here. Coming up on the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. George up the right wing, being guarded by Lugo. Splits the defense, gets it back out to Alec Garcia. Garcia with the jumper, no good. Rebounded Jonathan Castañeda for the Trailblazers. Hernandez pushes it up the floor, being guarded by Martinez. Over to Lugo. Lugo looking for options, being guarded by Zaid. Castañeda has it over to Hernandez, being guarded by Martinez. And that's going to be a foul. I think that's going to be, is that Ryan's third foul, PJ?
That is Ryan Martinez's third foul on the night. You got to start thinking if you do want to have him late game, or do you want to have him here to try to catch up?
Yeah, and it looks
There's
like
a
Ryan
sub.
Martinez is going to be subbed out. I think that's his third foul. Ian Wideka into the game. Hernandez inbound underneath the basket for the Trailblazers, looking for options. Gets it to Lugo in the corner. Lugo being guarded by Mora. Oh, man, I thought that was a walk, but I guess we still get the offensive foul. So we'll take it. Definitely thought he walked there, PJ.
Definitely a walk there, but the Troopers still get the charge there.
Good defense by the Troopers. Mora over to Zaid. Zaid being guarded by Jordan Hernandez. George to Mora. Mora looking for options. And that's going to be a travel on number 10, Isaac Mora. Turnover goes back to the Trailblazers. And after a quick break, Ryan Martinez goes back into the game. Again, Ryan has 3 fouls. He's going to check into the game for Mora. Christian Martinez inbounds for Americas. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez is going to walk the ball up. Being guarded by Ryan Martinez. Damian Vicente goes to the bucket, draws the foul, gets the basket to fall, and he will look to complete. And he's going to look to complete the 3-point play here. Gets 1 shot. Alec Garcia out for the Troopers. Number 20, Ivan Loya in. Damian Vicente looking to complete the 3-point play for the Trailblazers. Ball's up and good. So with 3 minutes, 7 seconds left here in the third quarter, the Americas Trailblazers 31, the Eastwood Troopers 12. Full court pressure by the Trailblazers. Zaid looking for options, gets it to George in the corner. George back to Zaid. Zaid has it, goes off his foot, but breaks the press. Dribbles up the floor, drives the lane, puts a shot up. Doesn't get it to go. Had some contact there. No call. Jordan Hernandez pushing up the floor now for the Trailblazers. Over to Nevarez on the right wing. Drives the lane. Oh, and they're going to call a block there. And that's going to be on George Garcia. I guess they're going to say he was shooting there. Definitely thought that was on the floor. 2 shots going up for Nevarez. 3 team fouls on the Troopers. 1 for the Trailblazers. First shot is up. And in and out. No good. 2 minutes, 49 seconds left here in the third quarter. America's 31, Eastwood 12. Second shot going up. And is good. No, it's going to go to Zaid. Zaid going to inbound for the Troopers. Looking for options. Again, full court pressure by the Trailblazers. Really been the story of the game, PJ. Full court pressure all game long by the Trailblazers.
Trailblazers have really been consistent on their full court pressure, not allowing the Troopers really to get across half court.
George puts up the floater. Great shot. Drives the lane. Gets some points for the Troopers. Cuts the deficit to 18 now. 2 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Hernandez gets a screen by Martinez. Gets it back to Martinez. Martinez in the paint. Gets it over to Vincente. A lot of contact. Thought there might be an offensive foul called there, but nonetheless, Damian Vincente gets the bucket. 34-14. Stretches the lead back out to 20 for the Trailblazers. George Garcia with the fadeaway jumper and gets the shot to fall. We're going to have a full timeout here by the Troopers. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left. America's 34. I believe the score just needs to be updated. I think it's 16. PJ, am I losing track here? I thought it was 34-16. 16. I thought George's shot there cuts it down to no.
Yeah, 14.
So 2 minutes, 7 seconds left in the third quarter. Again, full timeout called by Eastwood. America's 34. Eastwood 14. 20-point deficit. Troopers are going to have to generate some offense here in a hurry. And hopefully, I guess the goal to, looking at what we got to do before the fourth quarter, PJ, I would assume the goal would be to cut it to maybe 10 before the fourth quarter.
The goal probably right here is to try to cut it as much as you can, not a specific number. Just try to slow down America's here.
Full court pressure by the Troopers. America's breaks it. Nevada's drives the lane and gets another bucket. I think that's 3 times now going down the floor, PJ, that we try to full court press them, and they end up with buckets.
America's kind of saying, run our defense, and we'll show you how to run the offense for it.
De La Cruz gets it into Martinez. Martinez over to the corner. Wedeka looking for options. Has it in the corner, being guarded by Lugo. Back out to George. George being guarded by Hernandez. Setting up the offense now. George gets it to De La Cruz in the corner. Hernandez almost gets the steal, ends up going out of bounds. Ball stays with the Troopers. Number 22, Jonathan Castaneda, in for the number 12, Christian Nevarez. Ryan Martinez the inbound for the Troopers on the wing. De La Cruz at near the mid-court stripe, has it poked away by Hernandez. Screen set by Loya. Over to Martinez. Martinez looking for options now, being guarded by Castaneda for Americas. Uses the crossover, gets it to George. George gets it back to him in the corner. Martinez cross-court to De La Cruz. He's going to drive the lane. And they're going to say it's on the floor. And that's going to be a foul on Americas. Looks like we're going to have a sub into the game. Christian Nevarez checks back in. He's going to go in for Lugo. Lugo's going to have a seat. Garcia to inbound for the Troopers underneath the basket. That's America's second team foul. Eastwood with 3 team fouls. Gets it to Wedeka in the right corner. Wedeka to Martinez. Martinez looking for options. Gets it back to Wedeka, being now trapped. Martinez looking to drive baseline. Has it shut off. Wedeka over to De La Cruz. De La Cruz swings it around to George. George in the corner. Back to De La Cruz. Good defense by the Trailblazers. De La Cruz looks to set up a play. Gets it over to Wedeka. Wedeka looking to take the shot. Takes it and nails it. 35 seconds left before the fourth quarter. And we have America's 36, Eastwood 16. Again, America's breaks the pressure. Nevada's with the open shot. And that's going to be a 3. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. (39-16), 10 seconds left. George setting up for the last shot here. Looking to get some momentum going into the fourth quarter. 6, 5, 4, 3, pulls it back out. Over to De La Cruz. 1, takes a shot, does not get it to go. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter here at Eastwood with the America's Trailblazers 39 and the Eastwood Troopers 16. PJ, tall task here for the Troopers, trying to overcome a 23-point deficit and only the fourth quarter to do it. Thoughts going into the last quarter?
A very tall task here for the Troopers, but I think for Coach Morales, all he wants to see right now is his team's fight right here. They've only played 2 district games so far, really haven't been tested yet, and right here is their test to see what kind of team you are to go into your late district push as we're going into the second rotation of district. And we're going to see how good the Troopers really are defensively and offensively late in the fourth.
Yeah, I definitely agree, PJ. I think right now, if you're Coach Morales and you're the Eastwood Troopers, you want to see the boys fight. You want to see them generate some offense. I think that's really been the issue. I don't think, 39 points. I think they've overall done a pretty decent job on the defensive end. I think maybe the disappointing aspect of this game has been maybe the offense a little bit and the pressure getting to us. But I think you want to see fight out of our boys. And again, it's very early in the district season. And you never know. 23 points. I've seen crazier stuff happen in all sports, so I'm not saying it's insurmountable, but they're going to have to get some quick, easy buckets and have their defense generate some offense for them. Not the way you want to start if you're the Troopers. Easy layup for the Trailblazers on a backdoor cut. 41-16, 7 minutes, 42 seconds left here in regulation. Eastwood trying to come back here from 25 points down. De La Cruz drives the lane, puts the shot up, and that's going to be a foul and 2 shots for the Troopers. Foul is going to be called on number 40, Damian Vincente. De La Cruz will go to the line, shooting 2. First shot is up and good. 7 minutes, 32 seconds left here in regulation. America's 41, Eastwood 17. Second shot up and good. 41-18, 7 minutes, 32 seconds left here in regulation. Full court pressure by the Troopers. Martinez gets the ball into Hernandez. Again, they break the press pretty easily. Shot goes up, too strong. Rebound by Martinez. He's going to push it up, and that's going to be a turnover by the Troopers. Hernandez will take control. Looks like he's going to slow it down for Americas. Over to Martinez. Martinez over to Nevades. Finds Hernandez on the backdoor cut, and Hernandez gets it up and in. Strong finish by Hernandez. That's going to push the lead out to 43-18. George Garcia pushes it up the floor, gets it over to Zaid. Zaid being guarded by Nevades. Zaid back to George. George gets the screen, gets it over to the corner to Wedeka, back to Garcia. Being guarded by Hernandez. Good defense here by the Trailblazers. Wedeka over to De La Cruz. De La Cruz drives, kicks it back out to Martinez. Martinez has it, gets it over to Zaid. Zaid looking to set something up, gets it over to George. Over to Wedeka. Wedeka drives the lane. Isn't able to finish, and rebound is going to go to Christian Martinez. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the game. America's 43, Eastwood 18. Hernandez being guarded by Garcia. Ball goes out to number 10, Sarabia. Nevada's over to Hernandez. Hernandez being guarded by Garcia. Wedeka on Martinez. Back over to Hernandez. Pulls up for the jumper. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound to Wedeka. Wedeka gets it over to George. George looks for options heading up the floor. Garcia being guarded by Nevades on the right wing. Not a lot of movement right now for the Troopers. De La Cruz has it in the corner. Finds Zaid. Over to Wedeka. Ian looking for options. Again, good job by Americas here. Back over to De La Cruz at the top of the key. Back to Huereca. Huereca to Martinez. Troopers really struggling right now to generate some offense and get it inside. Zaid back to De La Cruz. And that's going to be a timeout called by Coach Morales. Five minutes, 16 seconds left here in regulation. America's 43, Eastwood 18. 3 team fouls apiece on America's and Eastwood. That's a full timeout given to Coach Morales. PJ just looks like maybe not our day offensively.
Not our day offensively, definitely. The Troopers really just trying to set up a look now, trying to put up some points here late to try to get some momentum off, and maybe if you're lucky, get on a run here late.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now with 5 minutes 16 seconds left. I mean, you never want to say you're completely out of it. So obviously you're still trying to win the game here. But I do think that to some extent you want to generate some momentum and come out of this day feeling a little good about yourself with what you were able to, how you were able to finish going into next week's district games.
Definitely, and I think right here what's a positive for the Troopers is they have not stopped shooting. They're keep the pressure on. They're still playing that full court press. They're still competing right here. America's really just kind of dictating what the Troopers are doing here late, though.
Manny Baeza inbounds for the Troopers. He just checked into the game. Zaid has the ball. Jace Molden underneath. George Garcia up top to De La Cruz. Garcia doesn't use the screen, looks to drive. Again, good defense by Americas. Over to Zaid. Zaid drives the lane. That's going to be a foul. I think they called that on Nevada's for Americas. That's going to be America's 4th team foul. Baeza to inbound underneath the basket. Get to the George up top. George looking for options. Shot goes up, in and out. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound to number 5, Lugo for Americas. Lugo to number 14, Jair Gonzalez. Over to Nevades. Nevades being guarded by Hernandez. Over to Castaneda being guarded by De La Cruz. Lugo being guarded by Baeza. Drives the lane, goes to the bucket and finishes. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left here. America's 45, Eastwood 18. George pushes it up the floor, dishes it back out. Zaid in the corner for 3. Got it. 45-21. 4 minutes, 7 seconds left. Again, big deficit for the Troopers. 24 points here with half a quarter left to be able to overcome it. Again, Americas breaks the pressure. Nevada's pushes it up the floor. They're going to slow it down now. Castaneda back out to Lugo. Lugo's going to hold it. Over to Gonzalez. Back to Castaneda on the wing. No, and they're going to say that was tipped. I would not agree with that. Americas retains possession. Gonzalez over to Lugo. Lugo to Nevades. Nevades being guarded tightly by Zaid. Looking for options. Tries to go baseline, and that's going to be an offensive foul called on Christian Nevades. Good job by the Troopers defensively. Christian Martinez will check back into the game for Damian Vincente. Zaid to inbound underneath. Another sub coming in. I believe that's Sarabia going in for Castaneda. Coach Brooks imploring his team to finish here. De La Cruz pulls it up the floor for the Troopers. PJ, it looks like we're going young here with our lineup. I think I see two sophomores in the game here.
I believe it was 2 sophomores, George, which is, I believe, a junior, and Zaid is the only senior right now on the floor for the Troopers.
And that's a big 3 for Zaid Hernandez for the Troopers. 3 minutes. That's going to be a full timeout. 3 minutes, 6 seconds left here in regulation. That's going to be a timeout, full timeout used by the Troopers. America's 45, Eastwood 24. Eastwood has some momentum now. Again, 3 minutes, 6 seconds left to overcome a 21-point deficit, but like I said, PJ, I've seen crazier stuff happen.
We have seen crazier stuff happen, and The Troopers really chipping away right here late. Americas did put back in their whole first team starters, and we'll see if the Troopers can really start breaking that. A note there on the Troopers 3 late there, they were really focusing deep on the box. They had 2 big men down low, and that's what kind of got Zayd open in the corner over there.
Yeah, I definitely like what we've seen from the Troopers here in the last probably minute and a half. Definitely cut into the lead, but like we talked about, even if they don't come out with the win today, I think you just want to leave this game feeling good about what you were able to do and how you were able to finish. Long district season. This is only the 3rd district game for the Troopers. So really you got 11 more, barring anything crazy, 11 more where you can really still make your mark in district and still make a run at a title. Ball to be inbound now. Lugo to inbound. Ball stolen away. Oh, almost stolen away by the Troopers. Great effort by George there, Garcia, to knock it away. Hernandez back in the game now, being guarded by Zayd. Got a half-court trap now. Ball underneath. Americas breaks the press and gets an easy bucket there. 47-24. De La Cruz has the ball. Pushes up the left wing, gets trapped. That's going to be a foul called on Sarabia. That's going to be America's 6th foul. Next one, and Eastwood's now on the 1-and-1. 3 team fouls on the Troopers. Baeza inbounds to De La Cruz. De La Cruz being guarded by Hernandez. Drives it inside, looking for options. Gets it inside to Jace Molden.
A lot of contact there.
I thought we might get a call there. Does not get the call. Christian Martinez underneath. That's a jump ball call. That's going to go Eastwood's way. Zayd to inbound, over to Molden. Molden to De La Cruz. De La Cruz over back to Zayd. Ball knocked away by Christian Nevares for Americas. Eastwood again to inbound now. George is going to make the inbound pass here. Gets it over to De La Cruz. De La Cruz gets a screen from Baeza. Good move. Drives a lane, and what a finish. Goodness. That is a great finish. Again, full court pressure here by the Troopers. Good defense by George Garcia there. Ball goes out of bounds. America's inbound. 47-26. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left here in regulation. Ball up the side to Castaneda. Castaneda out to Nevares. Nevares to Hernandez. It looks like Americas is really going to slow the tempo down here. Back over to Castaneda. Castaneda to Martinez. Martinez holds the ball out here. Drives a lane. Back out to Vincente. Back to Martinez. Again, I think this is going to be that point in the game where they just try to milk
Move
away
the ball around, milk the clock a little, yeah. And that doesn't help right there. The Troopers have a chance at the rebound and don't get it.
That's going to be a travel called on Jordan Hernandez. They were able to milk away a lot of that clock. Coach Brooks not happy with his point guard.
You could really see the frustration.
Up 47-26.
You could really see the frustration here on America's coaching staff. They're getting frustrated how Eastwood has been able to control this 4th quarter here, even while losing.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely can sense that this quarter. I don't know. Obviously, Coach Brooks is going to be happy with the win coming out of today, but I know this entire 4th quarter he's been imploring his team to finish. So I know that coming out of today, that'll be something that he definitely harps on with his group, wanting to finish the game a little bit better.
Definitely, and the Troopers have really just in the 4th quarter kind of picked away at the Trailblazers, not really putting up points to try to come back here very late though. But the Troopers are really trying to just focus on building off of what you can build off of this game.
George Garcia with a great move. Baeza with a great second effort. Gets it back to Zayd. Zayd for the 3. No good. Molden with a great effort to try to save it. Doesn't get it to come back out, and that's going to be America's ball. 46 seconds left. America's 47. Eastwood 26. Number 24, Matt Mercado checks into the game for Jordan Hernandez. He throws it over to Castañeda. Castañeda to Nevarez. Nevarez going to pull it out now. 35 seconds left. And Zaid ends up with a reach-in foul. That's going to be Eastwood's 4th team foul. 34.4 seconds left. America's up 21 points here in the 4th quarter. Christian Martinez the inbound. Gets it to Mercado. Mercado going to get trapped, or was going to get trapped. Gets it over to Martinez. Martinez over to Vicente. Cross court back out to Nevarez. And again, this is just America's now going to run. Oh, that's looked like a travel. Doesn't get called. Back to Nevarez. Over to Mercado, and it looks like this is going to be the end of the game. 10 seconds left. Martinez has it. Pulls it back out. 7, 6, 5. And that's going to be the game, folks. With your final score as time runs out in regulation, the America's Trailblazers 47, the Eastwood Troopers 26. Eastwood will go to 2-1 in district, and America's improves to 5-0. PJ, any last thoughts?
The Trailblazers really controlled the game and tempo today. They controlled the boards very well. Eastwood took too long, I think, to figure out what America's was putting out there on defense, and it kind of killed them there. In the first half, they only had 5 points. Here they have 21 in the second. Figured out a little too late.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Anytime you dig yourself a little bit of a hole like that against a good team, it's really hard to climb out of. I think that coming out of this game, Coach Morales and his staff will have a lot to correct on film. But again, this is a really good Eastwood squad that I have no doubt will make a run here in the next 11 games and be contending for a district title. They'll get them again at America's, which I think will, obviously will be another big test later on in the year. But I think there's still a lot to learn from and a lot to build on. So that being said, PJ, it's always a pleasure. Thank you to Christian Carrasco and the production of today's game. And that'll do it for us here from Eastwood. Again, the final score, the America's Trailblazers 47 and the Eastwood Troopers 26.